The wait is finally over for those eager to see more from Colorado standouts Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders following the Buffalo's tough Alamo Bowl loss. Since that December 28 defeat, speculation has swirled around both prospects, but all eyes will now turn to Boulder for Colorado's Pro Day, where these two high-profile players will showcase their skill for NFL scouts and executives. Hunter remains one of the most electrifying and versatile talents in college football, a true two-way player the likes of which the sport has rarely seen. Meanwhile, Sanders continues to be one of the most polarizing quarterback prospects in the upcoming NFL draft, with scouts divided on where he belongs in the pecking order and how teams truly evaluate his pro potential. With uncertainty lingering over both players' draft stock, their performances at Pro Day could be crucial in determining their trajectory. NFL draft analyst Josh Edwards, who has been closely following the pre-draft process, acknowledges that there is still significant debate surrounding Hunter's landing spot, as well as Sanders standing among the quarterback prospects in this class. Given how selective both players have been about when and where they work out for teams, their participation at Colorado's Pro Day is highly anticipated. Edwards believes scouts will get an extensive look at both athletes, as this moment has been meticulously planned throughout their pre-draft journey. For Sanders, the event presents an opportunity to silence doubters. While his confidence and pinpoint accuracy have been widely recognized, his completion percentage ranking among the highest in college football last season, some critics question his ability to push the ball downfield consistently. If he can showcase his arm strength in a controlled workout environment, it could help solidify his status as a top 10 pick. Hunter, meanwhile, remains a fascinating enigma. Capable of excelling as both a wide receiver and a cornerback, he enters the draft as one of the most intriguing prospects in recent memory. A standout pro day could elevate his stock into the very top tier of the draft. The unpredictability of this draft cycle adds another layer of intrigue. Beyond Colorado's Pro Day, one of the biggest mysteries remains the top of the board, particularly after Tennessee is expected to select Cam Ward with the first overall pick. However, nothing is set in stone. As much as Ward appears to be the consensus selection, Tennessee's front office has kept its decision-making process airtight, leaving room for potential surprises, including the possibility of trade down or even a non-quarterback selection. The intrigue extends beyond the number 1 pick. The Cleveland Browns, selecting at number 2, were initially linked to Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter, but recent comments from general manager Andrew Berry have fueled speculation that Travis Hunter could be their true target. Berry, known for his analytically driven approach, seems enamored with Hunter's rare ability to contribute on both sides of the ball. That versatility can make Hunter a perfect fit for Cleveland, a franchise looking for a dynamic playmaker who can make an immediate impact. If Cleveland pulls the trigger on Hunter, the next question becomes, how will they deploy him? Edwards speculates that while Hunter would primarily play wide receiver, the Browns could also utilize him at cornerback in specialized matchups. Given that Cleveland has seen inconsistency at the position, Hunter's ability to lock down receivers could be a valuable asset, though sustaining a two-way role at the NFL level remains a long-term challenge. As for Sanders, his draft position remains one of the biggest talking points. While he doesn't carry a first-round grade in Edwards' evaluations, the demand for quarterbacks in today's NFL makes it highly likely that he'll be selected in the top 10. In his latest mock draft, Edwards has Sanders landing with the New Orleans Saints at number 9, a pairing that could make perfect sense. New Saints offensive coordinator Kellen Moore may be looking to develop his own franchise quarterback rather than trying to build around veteran Derek Carr. The Saints, notorious for navigating their cap constraints through financial gymnastics, would benefit greatly from securing a young quarterback on a rookie contract. New Orleans, playing in a dome, would also provide a favorable environment for Sanders to maximize his skill set. However, if the Saints do draft him, they would likely have him sit for at least a year behind Carr due to the veteran's contract structure. That situation could work to Sanders' advantage, allowing him to develop behind the scenes before being thrust into the starting role. Elsewhere, quarterback-needy teams continue to shape their plans. Even if the Pittsburgh Steelers finalize a deal to acquire Aaron Rodgers, an expectation that has gained widespread traction, they could still look to address the quarterback position with the 21st overall pick. Edwards' latest mock draft suggests that both Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe could be available for Pittsburgh, Yet he has the Steelers opting for a different route, selecting playmaking wide receiver Luther Burden instead. Burden, a dynamic slot receiver, has been somewhat overlooked in mock drafts, with many projecting him to go in the early second round. However, Edwards sees him as an ideal fit for Pittsburgh, particularly with growing uncertainty over George Pickens' long-term future with the franchise. If Pickens isn't a lock to remain on the roster, adding a versatile weapon like Burden would provide a needed complement to DK Metcalf, giving Rodgers a reliable target underneath, while allowing Metcalf to continue stretching defenses vertically. For Pittsburgh, bypassing a quarterback in the first round would also make sense given the limited number of true first-round caliber prospects in this draft. Edwards, who takes a conservative approach in assigning first-round grades, has identified only 10 players worthy of that distinction. Prospect he believes have legitimate all-pro potential. That scarcity at the top of the draft could lead to more teams exploring trade-down scenarios, hoping to capitalize on the depth of talent available on day 2. However, it remains uncertain whether teams will be willing to surrender valuable assets to move up. As the draft process continues to unfold, the positioning of key prospects like Sanders and Hunter remains one of the most compelling storylines. The latest mock draft from Edwards presents a snapshot of how things might play out, with Cam Ward projected to go first overall to Tennessee, followed by the uncertainty surrounding Cleveland at number 2. If Hunter does end up as the Browns selection, the ripple effects will be felt throughout the rest of the first round. With Colorado's Pro Day on the horizon, the stage is set for Hunter and Sanders to make their final pre-draft statements. Their performances in Boulder could either confirm prevailing narratives or completely reshape their stock in the eyes of NFL decision-makers. In a draft cycle filled with uncertainty, one thing is clear. This is just the beginning of what promises to be a dramatic and unpredictable lead-up to the NFL Draft.